tourist arrivals to Kenya, East Africa's biggest economy, will probably increase 20% in 2011, and that from a year earlier. Joining us from our studios in Nairobi is the Minister of Tourism, Najib Balala. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon, Minister. Let's start off with that headline. Kenyan tourist arrivals expected to climb 20% this year. What's the basis for that kind of optimism?
Well, first of all, we have consciously and strategically diversified our source markets. And we've changed from our traditional market, which is continental Europe and the United States. We have now thought about Russia, the Eastern Bloc, that is Poland and Czech Republic. We have seen China, we have seen the Middle East, and we have seen Africa. I think diversifying these markets, we have seen there is hope of growth in these markets. They're the emerging markets economically, and definitely they're the source markets that give us the boost to increase this to 20%.
To what extent are you seeing that growth filter through, though? Because if you're looking at, the first 6 months of the year, we've still got Britain leading the way, accounting for 14.3% of tourist arrivals, and that followed by the US, 9.3% growth coming through there. So it's still those traditional markets that seem to be offering bulk of the support.
Certainly, because they are traditional, they are old, they know us better. We have invested heavily in these markets, and but now there are new markets which are coming, and they have gone through difficult times, particularly the UK. Still, it has not recovered. Last year, it's only recovered 85%. So it's yet to recover 2011. And we said we are not going to ignore the traditional markets, both Europe and the United States. We will also diversify the new markets, and that's exactly what we did.
Let's take a look at earnings that you're actually raking in from the kind of recovery we're seeing in this market right now, because this is in a context where we've had a sector having to contend with a weaker shilling on the one hand, and then players having to become increasingly competitive, lowering their price, their price tariffs, so as to attract more tourists their way.
First of all, the first 6 months figures, which shows about 40 billion Kenya shillings, that are not affected by the inflation, because it was up to June 2011. But definitely overall, because of the inflation that has come in the last month or so, the dollar will affect the earnings, the Kenya shillings earnings. But what I'm saying is that we are going to have an increase both in volumes, in numbers, and also in receipts. I'm aware the private sector, the hotel industry, they have upped their prices of accommodation by approximately 7 to 14%. So I know that receipts will be much more. Remember, previously we have given a discount because of the economic recession in Europe for almost 2 years of visa fees from $50 to $25, and now that from 1st of July it has now resumed to $50. So all those revenues will be accounted, and it will show an increase in receipts.
In the face of what kind of investment that's been made by the Ministry of Tourism, Minister, what has it actually cost you to get the sector up and going back on its feet once again?
We have recovered fully now. In 2010 was our record year, beyond our best year, which was 2007. So we have even gone up beyond 2010 by 20% by end of this year. So our focus is very positive, and we see an increase. Our target is 2013, we have 2 million arrivals, and 2015, 2016, we should have up to 3 million arrivals. What we are doing is that we are building infrastructure, roads in Nairobi, roads to the national parks and reserves. We are building a brand new airport from next year. Already we are refurbishing the current existing airport, and next year we are building a brand new airport. We have built a new airport in Kisumu. So all this infrastructural support that we are giving, that will boost tourism. Then the second element, which is very crucial, is security and the image of the destination. We now have new legislation in place, has been approved by Parliament this morning, to transform the police and to improve the security situation in Kenya. And that will boost Kenya a great deal in terms of security.
Let's leave it there. Thanks so much, Minister, for joining us this afternoon. Of course, Minister Najib Balala, Kenyan Minister of Tourism, joining us from our studios in Nairobi.